Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Taste of Fate, Pallavi asked Siddharth to get married to Prachi because of their unborn baby, and this means that Aliyah's plans worked because it was Aliyah that gave Pallavi the idea. So let's continue. Pallavi says that her final decision is that Siddharth should get married to Prachi for the sake of their baby, and she asks everyone to go out because the guests have come for the prayer. Siddharth asks Pallavi to rethink her decision and says it doesn't seem to be right for him. Pallavi asks if it is early, then they should get the marriage done next month. Siddharth says to Pallavi that the matter is not about date and says life will get complicated rather than getting easy. Pallavi asks, did you think this when you had crossed all the limit of relationship? And she asks, did you think that all the relationship will be ruined? Pallavi asks Siddharth to think about her decision as a punishment or compensation. Pallavi says to Siddharth that this is the only way to save Prachi and her baby. Ranbir asks, what do you mean? Pallavi says Prachi knows that we will never accept her baby as legitimate, and that is why Prachi tries to leave. She says Siddharth doesn't stay here, but Prachi used to stay with us as our daughter-in-law. Aliyah says that we did not know that Prachi is carrying Siddharth's baby because Prachi did not tell anyone. She says when we came to know, then Prachi was conspiring, and she said that the baby is of Ranbir. She says Prachi was snatching Rhea's right and the right of Rhea's baby because Prachi couldn't see that Rhea is taking her place and her happiness is coming home. Aliyah says that Prachi lowered herself in front of everyone and Rhea's mistake her innocence like her. She says Rhea exposed Prachi's baby's truth and she has mixed good and bad blood. Siddharth shouted, "Aunt, please." Vikram asked Siddharth not to interfere. He says if Ranbir had agreed to us, then we wouldn't have seen this day. Vikram says what to tell Ranbir, Prachi and you. Vikram tells Siddharth that he is the guilty one, but they are thinking about their betterment. Vikram asks Siddharth, did you think about our betterment? Vikram grabs Siddharth's collar and says, you are my brother's son. If you were my son, then I would have slapped you. He says, but nothing will change with my slap. Siddharth says, please, and he begins to beg everyone. Ranbir says enough, and he asks Siddharth to marry Prachi and give his name to the baby in her womb. He says, penance to your sins would happen this way. Prachi comes there and hears Ranbir talking about her marriage. She gets shocked. Priya, the servant, is in her house and her husband Rahul says that Aliyah insulted them when they did not do the theft. He says that necklace should be stolen and he calls his friends. Wendy comes to Grandma and asks them to come out. Grandma says that Pallavi is busy schooling them, but she would come out soon, and Wendy says okay. Pallavi says to Siddharth and Prachi that we have decided on your marriage and we told you, so whatever you want to say, talk with each other and don't talk to us. She says the guests will come and says that they will talk about Visajan. Rhea says to Pallavi that but you had said that you will get Siddharth and Prachi engaged tomorrow. Pallavi says Visajan would happen in the afternoon and engagement in the evening. Prachi says she will not do this marriage. Pallavi says she is not telling her, but she is ordering her as relationship and children are not illegitimate. Siddharth looks helpless and he goes from there. Pallavi tells Vikram that they should go to the guest and she doesn't want drama to happen during the puja. Prachi cries and she sits down shattered. Shahana asks her to pacify her. Prachi touches her tummy. Priya asks Rahul not to go and says your friends are not good. Rahul's friend comes to his house and asks why did he call them. Rahul tells them that Aliyah insulted them for theft when they did not do it. He says he wants to steal that necklace. The friend tells him that he will call another friend who can steal. Priya tries to stop them, but they refuse to stop. Siddharth goes to talk to Ranbir. Ranbir gets angry on him. Aryan takes Siddharth to his side and asks if he wants to get beaten by Ranbir, and he asks him to leave Ranbir alone. Rhea tells Aliyah that she is so happy that Pallavi got this idea of Siddharth and Prachi's marriage. Aliyah smiles and says this idea was planted in Pallavi's mind through me. Aliyah says to Rhea that I fertilized the idea in Pallavi's mind and I added water for it to grow. Rhea says you are amazing. She asks who has planted this in your mind and says Bapa. She says this is my favorite festival as this is happening. God is making everything in my favor. Rhea says she got rid of Prachi and Siddharth. Aliyah says to Rhea that once Prachi gets married to Siddharth, Ranbir will not look at Prachi again and he will not touch her, and Ranbir will be forced to come to Rhea. Aliyah says that Siddharth and Prachi's marriage will serve as the last rite of Ranbir and Prachi's relationship. Rhea says to Aliyah that grandma is dying to keep Prachi in the house and mom is adamant on her decision. She says Ranbir is upset, but she would keep him happy after Prachi leaves. Aliyah asks Rhea to keep Ranbir happy now and dance with him. Rhea asks Aliyah to play romantic song and they rejoice. Aryan asks Ranbir to go from there rather than burning his blood. Ranbir looks at Prachi and gets hairy eyes. Ranbir says I have problem with whatever is happening here and says I never thought that I would be so hot with someone going far away from me. A sad song plays in the background. Prachi also looks at Ranbir. They both get hairy eyes. Prachi says to herself that Ranbir is in extreme pain and he is worried. She says I can see his helplessness and anger. Rhea takes Ranbir to dance with her. They started dancing. Ranbir imagines Prachi and dances with her. He holds her face romantically. Everyone clapped for them. Ranbir sees Rhea instead of Prachi. Prachi gets upset and she goes. Rahul comes to the Kohli mansion with his friends. Priya says that she is not with their plan, but she came to help them. She says their friend had come and he asks her to take him there. Rahul's friend sees their friend. Priya gives them the information about the family members and she shows their photos. The new friend tells her that he has brought dog clothes to wear. Prachi thinks of Ranbir asking Siddharth to marry her and give his name to her baby. Just then, the decoration piece falls down from the roof and Prachi climbs on the table to fix it. Ranbir asks Prachi to come down from the stool because it is not safe for her to stand on the stool. Prachi remembered how Ranbir also supported Pallavi's decision that she should marry Siddharth, and Prachi says to Ranbir that it is not safe and she asks him to tell her what is safe for her. Prachi says to Ranbir that you are deciding about me, the life is mine, but you are deciding on my behalf. Ranbir says if you have heard me, then this wouldn't have happened. You have separated your life from mine. Ranbir goes to the room and he vents out his anger throwing the pillow on the floor. Prachi comes there and picks the pillow. A song plays in the background. Prachi says to Ranbir that you have said that if I have listened to you, then this wouldn't have happened. Ranbir says to Prachi that when I told you that we should go away from here and start a new life, then you did not listen. Prachi says I loved you seeing your love and says that is why I trust you first. Prachi says when I had left, you did not trust me. Then when I came back, how can you expect me to trust you? Ranbir says to Prachi that you should have trusted me and you should have told me about your pregnancy and the truth. Then I would have accepted you and your baby with my heart happily. Ranbir says I would have given my love to you and your baby. Prachi asks if Ranbir thinks that this baby belongs to Siddharth. Ranbir says I have forgotten about trust. I just know that I love you so much that nobody can love anyone like that. Siddharth hears the guests talking about Prachi's baby shower. Siddharth tries to talk to Pallavi. Pallavi says I am talking to the priest about the Mahurat and says it is very important. Aliyah comes to Siddharth and says I need to tell you about something important. She takes him with her. Rhea says that why did Siddharth not understand that we have crossed all the limits to separate Prachi and Ranbir, then we can do anything. Why did Siddharth not understand? Prachi says to Ranbir that you are saying that you have loved me like nobody had done, but now I am hearing that you had never even loved me. Ranbir says to Prachi that if I don't love you, then it is like the earth is not revolving. He says whoever asks me not to love you, even if you ask me, then also I cannot stop loving you. Ranbir says I will love you always, and when the matter of love comes, my heart doesn't listen. Ranbir says to Prachi that his mind and heart doesn't listen to him. Prachi says then don't talk such things. Ranbir says it means I love you and it cannot happen that I will not love you. Ranbir says my love for you will never end, but the feelings will change, my sight will change. I would hold your hand, but the reason will be changed. I would hold your hand to help you. Prachi says to Ranbir that your words are hurting me. Ranbir says it is like bitter medicine and says all your problems would end. Ranbir says I just want to help you. Ranbir says I want to save you from falling down at every turn of your life. Prachi says you cannot decide whom I will marry and whom I will love. Ranbir says to Prachi that you have snatched all the right from me. Then who am I to decide? He says I can just suggest, and he asks her not to snatch this right from him. Aliyah brings Siddharth to the room and threatens him. Siddharth says, I did not know that this would happen. He says, I will not let my brother's life be ruined. Aliyah says to Siddharth that don't talk to me in this way. Siddharth says, get habitual to it. I would expose everyone and I will not let this family break. Rhea comes there and pushes Siddharth down. She says, we will not let you ruin our lives. The priest asks Pallavi to bring the calaver. Pallavi says, okay. Rhea takes the knife and she threatens to slit Siddharth's wrist. She says then blood will flow out and before you could understand, your heartbeat will stop. And she asks Aliyah if this thing would happen. She says yes, and then everyone would think that you have committed suicide. Aliyah says to Siddharth that he would tell everyone that Siddharth was regretting and he couldn't take it and he had to end his life. Siddharth says, I am regretting much because my sister's life is in danger. Ranbir and Prachi's lives are ruined. He asks Aliyah to end this game. Rhea says to Siddharth that I love Ranbir and I will get him at any cost. Siddharth says if you want Ranbir, then win him with art and not by planning and plotting. Siddharth says stop ruining people's life. Aliyah calls Siddharth as Paplu and says you are a sacrifice lamb and don't try to be an hero number 1. Pallavi comes there. Siddharth tries to quickly expose Aliyah and Rhea to Pallavi, but Rhea cuts Siddharth short and says that Siddharth was telling them that they will not identify his sister. Aliyah says we have seen Siddharth's sister's picture and Aliyah shows the picture to Siddharth and Siddharth sees his sister being held captive. Pallavi ignores their talk and says I have come to take the calaver and she asks them to come fast. She asks Siddharth to come with her. Siddharth goes behind Pallavi. Prachi calls Ranbir. Ranbir wipes his tears and turns to Prachi. Ranbir asks if Prachi wants to say something. Prachi says she wants to ask him something. Prachi thinks if Ranbir really wants her to marry Siddharth. Ranbir thinks that you have to do this. Mom has decided. Prachi thinks that I heard what you have decided. Ranbir says something has entered his eyes. Prachi says someone has gone out from my heart. Ranbir says I am having pain in my eyes. Prachi says my heart is in pain. Ranbir says anyone can connect your heart, but what about my soul which is paining me? Prachi cries. Rhea tells Aliyah that she doesn't trust Siddharth and says he is not in our hands and he will try to tell the truth about us to someone. She says we should get him kidnapped for our safe plan. Aliyah asks if Rhea have gone mad and says Pallavi is getting Siddharth married to Prachi. Then Ranbir will be yours and then we don't care what he tells others. Rhea says to Aliyah that what is the guarantee that Siddharth will not do anything against us in a week. Aliyah says Siddharth's sister is still in our captivity. Rhea collides with Rahul and his friend who came as dog guys. She shouted and insulted them. Aliyah says sorry to Rhea and hugs her. Rahul tells his friend that the woman is Aliyah. The friend says she called us as thieves. We should steal all her jewelry. Shahana comes to Aryan and asks him to do something. Aryan says only Prachi can handle this situation. Shahana says right now, Prachi couldn't even handle herself. Shahana asks Aryan to stand with Ranbir and says she will stand with Prachi. Shahana says we have been supporting them since we came to know about their love and says only we can do it and not them. Shahana says to Aryan that Ranbir and Prachi are helpless, but we are not helpless. Aryan asks what does Shahana mean? Shahana asks Aryan to talk to Ranbir and give him some best solution if he is calm, because only Aryan can support Ranbir now, while she will support Prachi. Aryan nods his head in agreement to Shahana's plan. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment if you can. And don't forget to share this video and subscribe to this channel for more updates. And I'll see you guys in the next update. Thanks for watching.